In this video, I'm going to show you how to build a free blog in System.io. Now, whether you just want to build a website or you want to build just a blog or you want to build a website with a blog, you can do it all in System.io for free. So on the free plan of System.io, you can create one website or blog with an unlimited amount of blog posts or pages. Now, it's very easy to build a website in System.io because the platform is very user-friendly and System.io blogs and websites are completely customizable, so you can change pretty much everything about it that you want, customize it and make it unique to you. And websites that you build in System.io will also rank in search engines like Google. And then when you're ready to upgrade to a paid plan of System.io, you can save 30% by paying annually, or you can get 40% off of your System.io account by using the link in the description below this video. So that link will give you 40% off of the startup plan. Now, if you want to follow along with me in this tutorial, then you can use the link in the description below this video to get access to a free account of System.io. Or if you already have a System.io account, then you can use that same link for quick and easy access to your account. So jumping into your System.io account, you want to come over to the websites tab at the top and then select blogs. And this is the same option if you just want to build a website or if you want to build a website with a blog. It can all be done here. So I already have some blogs set up already here. So if I just show you an example of what one can look like, if I come to view blog. So this is a blog template I've set up for a therapist. I've included an email opt-in form. You can add videos and testimonials. Here is where we're going to embed an online booking form. That's not done yet. And you can basically lay this out as you want, adding your images and your videos and your call to action buttons and so on. And later on, we're going to embed the Google Maps here as well. So this is a very versatile platform. You can pretty much build any type of website you want with it. And here we've got the different pages like the contact page and the articles. This is where the blog posts will be living and the about page and so on. So this is just an example to show you guys. So heading back into System.io under websites blogs to create a new blog, we need to come over to the top right and click on the button that says create. Now here is where we can name our blog. So let's say, for example, we're going to set up a blog about dog training. And here is where you'll select your custom domain. So you'd first have to connect your custom domain to System.io, and then it will be available in the drop-down menu here. Now, if you don't know how to set up your custom domain on System.io, then you can watch this video that I'm showing on the screen right now. And I'm going to leave the link to that video in the description below this video, so it's easy for you to find it. And then scrolling down, we've got various templates we can use to start off with that System.io has already created for us. So if you like the look of any of these layouts, you can select the template and then customize it. For example, you've got the option to preview templates here. So if I click on the button to preview, we can see what this template's going to look like. Looks pretty nice. And then when you find the one you want, select template and click save. So I'm just going to go with this one. Select and click save. And now, because this is just a demo, I'm not actually building a website here. I'm just going to use the default subdomain of System.io for now. But because I'm already using that for other projects, I'm going to need to add an extension in here in order to use this URL. But when you add your custom domain, you want to make sure that the homepage of your website is the full URL without an extension here. And then your internal pages and posts on your site will have an extension. But your homepage will just be the full URL without an extension. Anyway, click save, and now our site appears at the top here. Click on the site, and now System.io sets up a few pages and posts for us as templates that we can then use and customize to create our site with. So far, System.io has created 4 dummy posts for us. If we click on one of them, we can see what it looks like. So this is what the post layout looks like currently, but we can completely change this how we want it. And then the pages, again, so far System.io set up our homepage, post list page, contact and about page. And of course, we can add more pages by coming over to the far right and clicking on the blue create button. And then System.io also sets up some categories for us. And these categories help us to organize our blog posts. So they set them up as category 1, 2, and 3, but of course you're going to want to change these. You don't want them to just say category 1, 2, and 3. So for example, as we've got a dog training site as this demo that we're setting up, if I come over to the dots on the right-hand side, click on settings, I can change the category name. So if I call one guard dog training, as you see, as I do that, the path is automatically changed as well. So this will be the URL path for that page. We can then add a description, SEO title, SEO description as well. Not going to do that for now. Click on save. Now I'll rename the others, and let's name this one leash training. Okay, so far so good. So our first 3 basic categories set up, and of course we can add more categories as you go, as you expand your site. Now, if we start with the home page, so come onto pages and let's go to the home page. If I click on this, it's going to bring me into the editor of the page. Now here is where we can start to work on the home page and change it around and customize it how we want. However, you might notice when you first come in here, as I move my cursor around on the screen, you can see the element boxes are highlighting here to show that I can edit these elements. But if I move my mouse over the top menu bar here, nothing changes. So I can't edit this in this view. So you have to go somewhere else to change this, which I'll show you in a sec. And also when we come down to bottom, same with the footer. So the footer and the header, you can't change it within the page views. So what we need to do is come back out, So I recommend you do this first before you start working on any pages or posts in your site. First comes this option here that says blog layout. Now this is a layout, which is essentially where you can change the overall structure of your site. So this is really important. Now here we can see as I move my mouse around, we can now edit these elements in the header and in the footer as well. So since these are going to be the same on every single page of your website, I recommend setting this up first. That way, as you add other elements to your site, you can start to get an idea of how it's going to look overall. So for example, the logo, if I click on this image here, I can change the logo image by clicking on here, either uploading my logo image or I can select one from my library. So for now, let's just select this one. I'm just going to reduce that down a bit. And then the menu options, if I click on the menu, now in the right sidebar, we can see here is where we can change our menu options. So for the home page, we need to select which page is the home page. So I select it here, or I can switch this to custom URL and paste the custom URL in here if I wish. I'm just going to put that back to blog link and select the home page that's already been created by System.io for us. And then the same for the articles menu option, where I select the post list page. And I can change this if I want to blog posts, for example, if you prefer that or whatever. And then the contact page, do the same thing, and the about page, let's do the same thing. And now if you want to add a new menu item, for example, if you want an FAQs page, you can add that in here, but you'll see now there is no FAQs page yet set up. So what I'd need to do is just save on this, exit back out, come to pages, and now here, create my new page, which will be the FAQs page. Just going to write FAQs, click create page. And now here is our page. Now if we go back to the blog layout, we should now then see the option for when I click on FAQs and select the blog link, our FAQs page is now listed here and it appears straight away in our menu. Now you're going to probably want to change your colors of your website. Now, if you're not quite sure what color scheme to go for or what color scheme will work well, like for example, what colors are complementary, a little trick you can do is come to ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT for some ideas as well as the color hexes for you to use. Okay, so I've just asked ChatGPT, told them that I'm creating a website about dog training and asked it for a complementary color scheme that will work well for a dog training website and also to give me the hex codes which are here for those colors. And I've also asked Chat just to show us what those colors are going to look like, which is what it's going to do now. So here you go. This is pretty cool. So Chat's recommending these colors. So primary is a green, neutral for the white and an accent color. Now, if you don't like it, you can just ask Chat to do another version, but I'm just going to run with this for now. So if I copy the green color, first of all, let's go back to our website. Now, if I'm going to use the green on the background here, select the background, come to background color, and I'm going to throw it in here. And there we go. We've changed our heading background. Now, I might also want to change this as well, just to make it like white, for example, to make it stand out a bit more. And I'll also change the logo to make sure it's complementary with this color. But anyway, I'm not going to do that now. This is just a demo. So I'm going to do the same thing for the background of our footer. Let's just change that. And also this bar here, let's change that out as well. Oh, actually it says this bar is going to be replaced by the blog content. So I'm just going to leave that for now. Now, another thing you want to do in this section here, before we go on to working on the individual pages and post itself, is come to the settings tab here. And you want to select your default typography for your body text and also for your headings as well. So I'm just going to select website fonts, choose the font you like, and I'm going to choose the same for the headings. And then for the body text, the color of the links, I'm just going to change that to our accent color, and the text color, I'm going to make that a bit more of a gray color. And then the heading text, I'm just going to put it for the accent color for now. And the background color is this here, which is currently white. I'm just going to leave that for now. Right, now if I save on this, all these colors should now be uniform across all of the pages and posts that we create. So that's why it's important to set this up first and then go and move on to creating your posts and pages. So let's go back to the main menu and then select pages. And if we select the home page, now we can go and check out the home page, brings us directly into the editor. And as we can see, we've got our heading set up as we set up earlier, as well as our footer. So now we can make any changes we want to in here. And I'm not going to change around too much, but just show you a few things that you can do. For example, if you want to put an opt-in box here and change this into an opt-in form, come over to the left sidebar and you can select the input form, drag this in, and let's change this to email address and go back and let's grab another one and we'll change this to first name. Just going to switch those over. And now we need to put a button in there as well. So then the person will be able to submit that form. Just drop that underneath here. And now if you want to change the whole background color, we can just change it like this. Of course, you pick a better color than that. That looks pretty terrible, but just to give you an idea, stretch that out a bit. We need to bring the sides in a little bit just to make it look a bit nicer. And there you go. Change that into an opt-in form. So really simple. Or we could also make this into a smaller opt-in form on the right-hand side, for example. So let's drag a 2-column in drop that in here, and I'm going to grab this box, bring it into one side. Now that is a bit deep, so I'm just going to bring that down on the top there. And the other side, perhaps we might want to put, say, a video. So let's drag the video in here, bring this down a bit just so they're in line, and there you go. So pretty simple. I mean, that looks pretty terrible now, bunched up. What I'd be inclined to do really is to put it into one column rather than two columns like this. Now move that down a bit, select margin, and bring that down in line with the video, and you're good to go. Of course, you'd make it look much nicer than this. It's just a quick demo for you guys. Anyway, then on the rest of your pages, you've got all these other elements to play around with. For example, you can bring in the element here for latest blog posts, which is this one here. So when you drag this in, every time you publish a new blog post, which will be on your articles page or your blog post page, whichever you've labeled it, on the home page here, it will update and show the latest blog posts with the excerpt as well for each one, which is pretty cool. It's a nice feature. Or you can use a blog post carousel. If I drag this in here, show you what this looks like. Now your website visitors have the option to click to scroll across to see the blog post within this little box here, which is quite nice. Or the other option is blog post listing, which I don't like so much. If you look at this, it's going to show blog posts in a long list like this, which is also known as a blog roll. I'm just going to delete that for now, get rid of that. And then back to the elements in the left sidebar, you've got all your other options like input fields, buttons, videos, audio, images, social buttons, and so on. Anyway, once you're happy with your page, of course, click save and let's go to exit. It's the same kind of thing with any of your other pages listed here. If I show you the post list page where all our posts are going to be. So personally, I think this looks quite nice. We keep them organized in this kind of way. But the same thing again, like I just showed you for the home page, you've got the options here on the blog post page if you want to display them as a list instead. So you can customize this around and change it in the way you like. And then back to our pages, contact page, of course, you've got contact form here where website visitors can get in touch with you. And you can connect this to your email address, so you'll receive any messages from people via this contact form. And again, you can change any of the elements on this page, like the images or add videos and so on. So back up here. And now let's say you wanted to add privacy policy page. Come over to the button on the right side to create, and we'll name it privacy policy. And we'll just also put this in here for the URL extension. Click create blog post. Oh, hang on, need a little hyphen in the middle there. And now here's our privacy policy page. Let's click on this. And now as this is a new page, we've just got the header and our footer in here, which is the layout we set up earlier. And now this space here where we can add our elements. So start off with a headline, drag that in, and let's just change that to privacy policy and go back to elements. And let's drag in the text box element, drag this in here. I'm just going to left align that as well. And now to create a privacy policy, you can come over to a website like this, free privacy policy generator. And I'll leave a link to this website in the description below this video if you want to use it. So to create your privacy policy, you would just check website and then follow the instructions, fill out your information here, and this wizard will talk you through creating your privacy policy. Then once it gives you the policy, just copy and paste the policy into here. Now, of course, it's always recommended to check with the solicitor that your privacy policy page covers everything that you need it to, based on what your business is doing and where you're located. Anyway, let's say you're happy with this page. Let's click on Save Changes and we'll exit. And now this privacy policy, we're going to want to link to it from other pages of our site or from our footer, for example. So we copy this page here. I'll go back to blog layout. And then at the bottom here, you might have another link for the privacy policy to appear here. You do the same for your terms of service page and any disclaimer pages that you might need. So if I write privacy policy in here, let's just change that to white. And now if I select the link icon and I can paste my link in here, click save. And now this is hyperlinked to the privacy policy page. If I want this to open in a separate window, I check this option here. So now this link is connected to the privacy policy page and it will open in a separate window. Click on Save Changes and exit. So now, for example, if we come back to pages, well, let's go and look at the blog on the front end. So we're just going to see our home page first of all. Scroll down to the bottom, see our privacy policy page here, and it's linking to our privacy policy. All pretty simple. Okay, so now we've created the layout for our website and also I've shown you a few things you can do with your pages and how to create new pages as well as set up your categories. Let me now show you how to set up your blog post and how to add new blog posts. So heading over to the post tab at the top left here. Now here are the 4 posts that System.io has created for us. So if we click on one, we're going to see the layout. This is what it looks like currently. So System.io started off with a featured image, which has the date and also the category of this post. And then here's the content, of course, and then an image and an author box as well. Now, if you notice, as I move my mouse, I can't actually edit this at all. So I won't be able to remove this from the post editor here. So I'm going to show you in a minute where you would edit this. And again, for the bottom, at the very bottom down here, we've got this comments section. Again, I can't change this either. So if you come out of this, let's click on leave under the blog section. We come to post layout this time. Now in the post layout, this is where you find these elements, a bit like at the very beginning when we set up the overall structure of the site with our header and our footer. Within the post layout, this is where these elements have been placed. So as we hover over this, you can see it says here, this component will be replaced with a blog post image. Do not remove it. And again, same with these as well. This component will be placed with a blog post date. Don't remove it. And again, with the title and the date again here. So it's recommended not to remove these. And again, for this, don't remove this either, because this is where your content will go for the post. This part, if you wanted to take the comments off, you could delete that. If you didn't want to give people the option for comments, let's get rid of that and click on save. And now we go back to our posts. Here is where we can start to edit our content or add new content, whatever it is you want to do. So where do we actually change this image and also change the title for this post? Because of course, this is a blog now about dog training. This article in particular is going to be about puppy training. So this is obviously nothing to do with puppy training at all. So let's go to exit. When we select that particular post we're working on, come over to the right-hand side to the little dot menus. And then if we select settings, under settings, here is where you can add your title of your post with a short description, change the slug of the post here, which is the URL extension. So this is recommended to name this whatever the post article is called. So let's say this article is about socializing your puppy. Okay, so that's the title. And I'll also put this in here for the URL. Now, this also needs to be all lowercase with hyphens in between each word as well. And here is where you can select when you want your post to be published. And of course, you can change the image here. So let's get rid of this one here and click on choose file. And let's put that little fella in. Click to upload. And now here I can select which category. So I'm going to leave it in puppy training. Click on save. And now when we go to our post, we will see the title and the date and the image has changed. So all pretty simple, pretty straightforward. And also what's really important is when you create a new post, so if we click on create new, and let's just write new post, and let's choose an image, bring this guy in, and let's stick that under puppy training as well. Oh, you need to write a short description, that'll do, just whatever. And now here we'll notice the status is inactive currently. So this will allow you to then work on your post in here and write your content, so you can add your headline and add your text, and so on, create your article. And then once your article is ready and completed, then you're ready to publish it. Then you need to come over to the right hand side of these dots and then click either activate to publish it straight away, or you can schedule it here and select the date when you want it to automatically post. Now, currently, if we go back to view blog, and if we look on our blog post page, we will see the puppy socializing article here. And we go back, but the other one is not appearing here yet because I've not published it. So if we go back now here, where it says status, select activate, and now the tick turns to green. And now if I refresh on this page, here is our new post here. And if you go back to our home page, we will see our new posts appearing here in the recently added posts. Now, one more thing to show you is the SEO settings for the posts and the pages. Now, this is exactly the same for posts and pages. So if I show you in posts, so let's select one of our posts. Once you've created your post and you're happy with it, before you publish it, come to settings, the top left here. And now in this section is where we have the SEO settings, where you can put your SEO title. So this will be the title that will appear in the search engine results page. For example, when someone searches something on Google, whatever you put here will be the title that will show in the Google or Bing or whatever search results. And then here is the description you'd enter the blog post. It's also known as the meta description. So if I just show you an example of what I mean, if I search for house trainer puppy, see this article here, this is the SEO title, which will be whatever you enter right here. And it can be different from what you name the post, but it's usually a good idea nowadays to make them the same. And then the description, the meta description, is what appears here in the listing. And that is what you enter here. And then here is where you'd write the particular keywords you want this article to target, each separated by a comma. Then you'd write your author here, and you can upload the social media image here. So if this article is then shared on social media, whatever image you put here will be the image that will show up on those social posts. And of course, you can just select the same image or use a different one if you want. And very important, make sure that this box is unchecked if you want this article to be found in search engines like Google and Bing. And then when you're happy, click Save Changes. And then this is exactly the same for the pages as well. So each of your pages, you just go into, and then before you publish them, go to settings, fill out the SEO information, and of course, make sure that this box is unchecked if you want this page to appear in the search results. Otherwise, Google or Bing or Yahoo or whoever will not list this article or this page if this box is checked. So that's very important. So there you go. That's pretty much it. That's how you can create a blog for free in System.io. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward, and it's a really good platform to work with. Now, if you got value out of this video, then please do like, share, and subscribe. It really helps my channel out a lot, and I really appreciate it. Now, if you need any more help with System.io, then I've got lots of System.io step-by-step tutorials on my channel, and you can see my System.io playlist right here.